Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of That's Bonkers, Bruh, where we talk about the strange and unusual, the interesting, and anything downright bonkers. I'm your host, Mitch.
And I'm Kelsey.
And it's the most wonderful time of year.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised that you just could spout off that intro so quick because we haven't done this in a minute. And
I know.
It's just embedded in your brain now. You didn't even fumble.
It's ingrained, like it just smooth like butter.
Yeah, that was one take.
One
and done. But yeah, I love this time of year. However, we're really slacking because, it's almost Halloween. We're recording this on, what's today? October 27th. And I'm a little bit disappointed in us. I have to say that we're just now getting to it for the month because, as everyone knows, I love Halloween. I love spooky season. I live for the creeps. But it just is what it is. I was actually listening to another podcast today, and they were saying the same thing, that they're normally very into Halloween, but they've just kind of dropped the ball this year and not super motivated. And I don't know why that is. It's just kind of a weird year.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
First of all, there was no Spirit Halloweens by our house this year.
That's probably a big indicator.
We had to drive 45 minutes away to go to a Spirit Halloween.
And it was packed.
And I was not in the mood to be there that night, so it was very annoying. And life's just busy, it's been chaotic. There's a lot going on, but
we haven't done jack for fall activities.
I know we haven't done any even fall activities. That's the thing. We have Halloween decorations up. I've only watched one spooky show so far this year, A Real Haunting on Netflix. It was pretty interesting, I'll have to say.
I don't know. We watched the Haunted Hotel cartoon.
Oh, we did watch the Haunted Hotel. Yeah, that was a cute one. We liked that. That was a family watch.
Yeah.
But my brain's been preoccupied because I got a bird, and I've been trying to train it. Mitch can't even keep a straight face.
Can't even look at you right now.
I can't even make eye contact. So I've been
replaced.
I've just been very consumed with bird videos and trying to train it to not be terrified of us and to take treats from me. And we're making slow progress.
Yeah, tell them about the breakthrough you had today.
We had a breakthrough today. I tried to give it a piece of treat on my hand to see if it would step up on my hand because it's been taking treats from me finally after a month. So now the next step is I needed it to step up on my hand so it will come out of the cage. And it nibbled on my hand. It was so cute. Out of curiosity. It's a parakeet for anyone who cares. A blue parakeet. His name is Marshall.
Marshall Mathers, because the boys named him, and they believe that they founded Eminem.
Yeah, that was the longest pause I've ever heard in between.
I was just waiting.
For what?
For you to say his full name, his full legal name.
You say it. I was waiting for you to say it. Anyway, yeah, Marshall Mathers. He's making progress. I just had to get that off my chest. But anyway, we're here now. The mood is set. The lights are dimmed. It's dark.
Outside.
Yeah, it's dark and rainy outside. So we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the Halloween spirit now.
Trying to be anyways.
Yeah, we're trying to be. So we got a couple little spooky stories today. Nothing too long, but because I got to get back to my bird, obviously. So nothing too long, but we got a couple. So what you got, Mitch?
So I found a couple of, published stories I found. This one's specifically from Reddit. And so I thought it was, it's spooky, nothing too crazy, but definitely just sort of eerie when you kind of peel back the layers a little bit.
All right, well, hit me with it.
First off, exciting because it sounds like it's in a, what would be categorized maybe as a coastal town of Oregon, which is fun, with just it's rainy. It seems kind of spooky, right? To kind of set it. It's rainy, lots of big trees, fog, whatever. Anyways, so it says, when I lived in Oregon, I worked in IT for the community college. I wasn't getting out until 9 or 10 p.m. It was a normal day like any other. By the time I left work, it was pitch black outside per the usual, and thick underbrush made it even harder to see. This is important for later. I drove through town and finally got to the highway that led from Lincoln City to Corvallis, which was a long stretch of empty highway that ran 1+ hours through the forest. After about 45 minutes, I got to the hill that split into 2 lanes on both sides. As I accelerated in my tiny lawnmower of a car, I noticed something moving alongside the guardrail. Okay, I thought, probably just a deer, no big deal, just slow down and avoid the cute little bugger. I was extra careful because that thick underbrush meant each side of the road would be a deep well of blackness that could definitely have little critters hiding in there waiting to jump out into your windshield. Well, before I could finish that thought, I saw feet. If you're from Oregon, you know that the homeless situation is abysmal. It wouldn't be too strange for one of them to be hitchhiking out here, but it was definitely out of sorts this late at night. So I decelerated to about 65 since I was going 70 plus and kept my eye on those white shoes walking by the road. By the time I actually realized those were shoes walking, the man darted out in front of my Nissan in what I thought was a potential suicide attempt. I slammed on the brakes trying to avoid him. And she says, I'm getting goosebumps just typing this because it bothered me so much. I ended up sliding sideways, going 60 miles an hour in the opposite lane while the man ran right out in front of me, relentlessly. All I could see was his red plaid shirt and his body as he hit the hood of my car. When I came to a complete stop, he was leaning on the hood, staring directly in my eyes. The primal fear I felt was something I didn't even know existed. The high beams of my car didn't even pierce whatever this man was. It was the blackest shadow or void that I've ever seen. Then, in an instant, it vanished, completely gone. I was breathless, absolutely breathless, shaking, thought I'd actually killed someone, so I had to sit in the opposite lane, or as I sat in the opposite lane sideways, breathing heavy for a minute or two, I couldn't help but scream at that point and pound on my accelerator and get the hell out of here. I called my husband screaming and crying that I'd possibly just killed a man, and then he all of a sudden disappeared, and I didn't know what had happened. I left the scene. I know, illegal, apologize. But the time I got home, 30 minutes later, I was shaking uncontrollably. I got out of my car and ran to the hood, seeing no dents, no handprints, no nothing. I couldn't sleep at all that night. Here's where it got a little bit more weird. The next day at work, I researched deaths on that highway and found out that a man rolled his truck with his wife and child inside. All three died. I highlighted his name and put it into Facebook. The first profile that came up was a memorial for that man, and in his profile photo, he wore a red plaid shirt. I returned a few weeks later in that same area where my skid marks were where the guardrail was. Tied to the guardrail was, and probably still is, a moldy child's toy, a rabbit. Something is deeply, deeply haunted about that area of the highway. I'm just glad that there wasn't anyone in. Oh my goodness! I'm just glad there wasn't anyone in the oncoming lane, or that could have been a totally different story that I may have not have lived to tell.
Yeah, that's creepy. The rabbit, little moldy rabbit, is so creepy. Just that visual of like a little stuffed animal toy.
Right.
And then just, can you imagine? You'd think, am I going crazy? Am I going into a psychosis? Did this actually happen? Was that a person? And then looking him up on Facebook and seeing the shirt and everything.
Everything about it. Like, I actually just got chills just thinking about it. Because, like, if you've ever, like, you know, you're driving at night in the city or whatever, and someone, like, steps out in front of your car and you slam on the brakes, just like that adrenaline rush where you're like, holy shit. Like, I almost just hit somebody.
Yeah, it's such an adrenaline rush.
But then to actually, like, feel something hit your car, they're on the hood.
You just instantly feel sick.
And just, like, and then to go back and to see your skid marks, see where probably this truck was rolled or vehicle was rolled that killed this family. The toy, the same plaid shirt, like, just so creepy. Yeah,
so many ups and downs in your brain trying to process all that.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
It makes my tummy feel weird.
That was very spooky, Mitch.
I thought it was a good one.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Should I do mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we'll go back to you.
Yeah, I got another short one.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
So there's been this video circulating on the internet, as I always find inspiration, about this guy that actually, this happened in North Carolina, where he had seen something on the side of the road and he called 911. And we're going to talk about it today. And had you heard about this, Mitch, before I told you about it?
No.
This video has millions of views on TikTok. Okay, so this happened in 2021 in North Carolina. This guy's driving down the road. It's late at night, and he sees a bloody man in what seems to be a Civil War era type clothes. And he's completely covered in blood. He said it's just dripping down his face. The man is covered head to toe in blood. So he doesn't want to pull over and get out because he's scared. So he calls 911 and says, hey, I saw this on the side of the road. And then in the 911 call, you hear like a bang, like something gets in the bed of his truck. Mm-hmm. And you hear him go like, oh, what the hell is that? What was that? And he turns on the lights to the back of his truck as he's like what is it called? Bed lights? Floodlights? What are the lights that light up the back? I'm not a truck person.
I can't, now you put me on the spot and I can't think of what they are.
I've forgotten your name. So like the lights that illuminate the back of his truck, he turned those on and you just hear him screaming on the 911 call, that's not human, that's not human, that's not human. And he's screaming and the 911 operator is like trying to calm him down. So anyway, what had happened was he turned on these lights and he saw this all white figure with this super white, tight, stretched back skin, no hair, super skinny. He said it had no nose, not really eyes, just kind of like sunken pits where the eyes would be. And he sped up super fast, about to 80 miles per hour, and then slammed on the brakes so that this thing flew and toppled out of his truck. And he said that when it stood up, he got a better look at it, and it was really tall and skinny, that he estimated it to be about 7 feet tall because it was taller than his truck. And he said that he's 5'10", and when he stands next to his truck, the truck is still a bit taller than him. This was a big truck. He's a country boy with a big old truck. And he said that this thing was like 7 feet tall, super long, skinny arms, skinny hands, and just all white with like no hair or anything. And he just swerved around it and drove off. And it has been confirmed that this is an actual 911 call. So whether this really happened or not, or whether this was a hoax or not, the 911 call itself did in fact happen. And you can look it up. The Pender County Sheriff, Alan Cutler, he said that yes, this is in fact, he confirmed on the record, this is in fact a real 911 call that took place. You can just hear this man. It doesn't sound like he's acting. He's screaming. He sounds genuinely terrified. So anyway, I think the police went back and they checked the scene and tried to see if they could find anything. Couldn't ever find anything. But people online are speculating that this sounds a lot like the Rake.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So you're familiar with the Rake?
I've heard of it. Enlighten me.
Okay. Well, the Rake itself is a fake monster. It's made up. It was started online in 2005 as a creepypasta, but it's described just like this, with the pale skin, no nose, sunken eyes, 7 to 8 feet tall, very skinny, long hands, very long fingers like a rake. That's how he gets his name, the Rake, because he's kind of got these long rake-like hands. But what's interesting is that where this guy was driving, on the call, you can hear him trying to describe where he is, and he says, I just crossed Black River over by Moores Creek National Battlefield. So he drove by this battlefield where all this happened, which is notoriously haunted. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because he saw that the man first, the bloody man, and people are speculating, was this weird creature, like, posing as this bloody person first, and then it's weird that he saw both of them.
Yeah.
Both things that are like very different. But this Moores Creek battlefield is associated with a lot of reports of paranormal activity stemming from its Revolutionary War history, though it also has modern paranormal claims as well. People report sounds of conflict. Visitors and staff have reported hearing phantom sounds of cannon fire and muskets. There are reports of hearing ghostly voices and what sounds like soldiers talking or marching in the woods at night. And people have claimed to see ghostly figures and apparitions of soldiers in the area. which is not surprising for a place with that type of a history. But so anyway, a few years later, this guy who wants to remain anonymous, he goes by T, the man that called 911, he does an interview with Carolina Case Files, and you can look them up on YouTube. But yeah, they interview him. I watched the interview, and it's just the back of the guy's head because he wants to remain anonymous. He really just wants to forget about this whole thing. You can tell it really shook him up. And he retells the story of what happened that night. And all the little tiny details are there, like from the 911 call. So it's just kind of makes it all the more spooky because it really doesn't seem like he's making it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he's lying. It doesn't seem like, whether it's real or not, I think he believes it's real. He saw something for sure. But yeah, he said he had scratches on his car that he didn't have pictures of anymore because he wanted to just move on, and all the little details. The 911 call is haunting. And he said that when he listened back to the 911 recording, he didn't even remember screaming, "That's not human, that's not human, that's not human," because it was just like in the moment. And then he re-listened to it and heard himself saying that. I was like, oh, I don't even remember saying that, but so scary.
That's weird.
And imagine being that 911 operator and you're just like, what am I supposed to say to this person? Are they having a trip? Like, it's a fine line between psychosis and the spiritual realm, I fear. Like,
honestly.
But in my research of this, I learned that The Conjuring was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is about 20 miles from where this took place. And then some shots were filmed in the same town as where this battleground place is. So lots of spooky energy.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. But if you have not seen this video, look it up. Look it up on TikTok or YouTube or something. It is spooky. It's very interesting to listen to.
I'm intrigued.
I could maybe play it, but I don't know if it would sound good through the speakers on my phone.
Oh.
We could try it. I do have it saved. You know what? Let's look it up.
Let's give it a try.
Because I think I sent it to you on TikTok. Hang on a sec.
Got to get out of your regular TikTok.
Mm-hmm. What's it doing?
Yeah, I think for me, when just thinking about it, like there's got to be some sort of correlation between the guy he saw, like the Civil War soldier, and this Rake, right? Like, is this Rake potentially, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Why can't I find my words tonight? Like a shapeshifter type of thing?
I don't know. That's a good thought. Okay, I found it. I sent it to you on TikTok because you don't ever get on. It's like telling me that I can't send you more videos until you like confirm it or something. I don't know. So thanks for ignoring me. Okay, I'm going to try to play it. Hopefully it doesn't sound like shit.
Get it close to the...
Thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53 East. I just passed Patriots Lunch.
Okay, so you're over near Morse Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And did you saw a man standing on the side of the road?
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the back of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed light for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Okay, so when you say something, what do you mean?
I just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
I'm driving on 210.
So there you have it.
Whoa.
Crazy,
that
right?
really did give me chills. I'm not even joking. I like looked at you while you were playing that, and I could just like feel it through my flannel.
Feel it through my flannel. I'm hot actually, so I did not feel chill. I've listened to this so many times, but crazy, right?
That's a lot.
Yeah. Just his voice,
just
like you can tell he's so
sheer
scared.
terror.
He's scared for real. Yeah.
And you hear the bang.
You
like,
do. That's the thing. You hear the
he's
bang.
on the phone, and like that's not. Like, I don't know how. I mean, you can make a bang sound, but just like it sounds like it's in the bed of a truck.
Yeah, it does.
Like the kind of like metal clink, but not like.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I know. I love spooky videos on the TikTok. All right, what else you got for me, Mitch?
I got another story, so you got to bear with me here some. It's another person on Reddit that said, "This is the most vivid experience I have ever had, and I will never forget it. My mom and stepdad got married when I was 4. Mom and I moved into the house my stepdad owned after they got married. It was just the 3 of us and our animals. I'm an only child, and at the time of the story, we had 2 big dogs who lived inside and outside. The dogs usually roamed outside at night at the 20 acres we owned. We lived at the house for 14 years, and I saw my fair share of creepy stuff, but this story sticks out the most. A little background. I was 7 years old. I believe I was 7 years old. I don't remember the exact age, but I can remember exactly what presents I got that year for Christmas. I knew I was old enough to use the bathroom at night alone, but still young enough my mom usually tucked me in to make sure I got to bed okay. I also know for sure that it was Christmas Eve. Our tree was always off at night except for Christmas Eve. Our house was small, about 850 square feet is all, but I loved it. When you walked in the front door, you were immediately in the living room. Straight ahead was the hall. In reality, it was just a small rectangle that had doors in 3 of the 4 sides, from the living room to the front room, and you could see into the bathroom. Heading to the bathroom, you had a closet on your left, bathroom door, and my bedroom was on the right. An empty wall, the width of the door, and my parents' bedroom. The kitchen was off to the left of the living room and shared a wall with the bathroom/closet. It was super cute, very cozy. But we also had an unfinished basement. Okay, story time. I got up to use the bathroom Christmas Eve. I got up from my bed, went out of my bedroom door, and turned the corner into the bathroom. I, of course, had to peek at the tree and the presents underneath. I thought I saw a monster truck. At the time, I was a big fan and really wanted a remote control one, but I didn't stop to look because I really had to go. After I finished up my business, I got up and looked towards the living room. I really wanted to peek at my presents before I went back to sleep. We didn't close the door in our house growing up unless we had people over, so I could see the front door and the glow of the tree from my seat. I looked back at the toilet to flush, and when I looked back at the doorway between the hall and my living room, I saw the silhouette of another boy. He looked about my age from his height, and but he had his back to me, so I'm not sure what his face looked like. He was standing in the doorway using his left hand to hold the door frame so he could lean into the living room on his tiptoes and peek at the presents. In his right hand, he had a red sucker. His whole body was dark because of the lack of light and the Christmas lights shining behind him. I shuffled to the edge of the bathroom, so I was just inside the door. If I had my arms straight out, I could have touched this kid. I'm standing there, about to ask him what he's doing, when he slowly drops back to the flats of his feet and starts to turn and face me. As he starts to turn, I get the most intense feeling of dread, fear, and anxiety. I can see the profile of his face, and he's just smiling, staring straight ahead. Just as he's about to get all the way around, my mom walked out of her room and asked me if everything was okay. In the split second it took to look at her and back at the boy, he was gone. I instantly felt better, but it was as if he had never existed. I pointed to the living room, and my mom assumed I was trying to peek at the presents, so she just tucked me back into bed. I fell asleep pretty quickly and woke up and totally forgot until the next morning. I did get my remote truck, by the way, so I was super happy about that. It was years before I came back. It was years before it came back to me, and I told my mom about it. She wasn't surprised because, like I said, a lot of weird stuff happened like that in that house all the time.
Ew. I do not like that he was smiling.
The smiling is the creepy part, right?
I don't like that at all.
It's weird, and the you can't, like, he, you know, from a distance, it was just this like black silhouette, but he could see that he was holding a red sucker. And then, like, the slow turn of a smile.
Ew.
Creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I wish this person could have like done a little bit more like, oh yeah, we found out that there was a little boy that
done some research.
Yeah, like he choked on a sucker and that's how, or whatever, just something like to give a little bit of,
choked on a sucker.
I don't know what it is, but just like to be able to like put the story together. I like when it kind of closes the loop.
Yeah, I like that too. I thought you were going to say it was like Krampus or something.
Oh, that'd be crazy though.
Why is he not closing the door to go to the bathroom? That feels too vulnerable.
It's pretty vulnerable.
You know what it reminds me of is on The Sixth Sense that we just watched yesterday.
Yeah.
When he gets up to go to the bathroom in the night and he's like holding it. He's got to pee really bad because he's scared to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like standing there and there's like a figure that walks behind him.
Yep.
I would not pee with the door open because I would feel scared.
It's pretty vulnerable, like you said.
Yeah, one time when I got up in the night to pee, and I only turn on like a little light that's like in the bathroom, like above the shower, so it's still pretty dark in there, and it's dark out in our room. And I opened the door to go back to my bed, and our son Roman was just standing there in the dark, staring at me, and it made me jump out of my skin. It was so scary. And then a couple weeks ago, I got up early and I had turned on the heat because it was cold, and then I got in the shower, and then I came out of my room into the dark hallway, and again, Roman was crouched down in the hallway, just crouched down like a demon child staring at me, and I don't even know what I said, but I said some expletives because it scared the crap out of me, and I was like, holy shit, Roman, you scared me so bad. Why are you crouched down like that? And he's like, I had to get out of my room. It smells like burning. And
what? I don't remember that.
It's because I turned the heat on.
Oh.
Yeah. I turned the heat on. And so he didn't want to be in there because it was like the first time I had turned it on for the season. So you know how it smells weird?
Okay.
But just the whole scene, it's dark. He's crouched like a frog.
Yeah. And you know how like kids,
burning. I'm
kids
like,
crouch too.
Me.
Like they sit like they're sitting around on their haunches like a caveman, like that.
Yeah. It was like that.
Oh my gosh.
It scared me so bad. I'm like, why would you crouch? Why would you be here? Why wouldn't you go in the guest room? Like so many other options other than a crouch in a dark hallway. Terrified me. That kid's a creep. Oh, anyway, I think that's all I've got.
That's all I've got.
All right. Well, we'll talk about some more ghostly encounters soon. Maybe on the next one. I'm still in a ghostly mood. I'm in a creepy mood. And so even though by the next time we do this, it might frickin' be Thanksgiving, who knows, but I still want to do a creepy one.
Let's do it.
So stay tuned for that. And hope you all have a good Halloween.
Stay safe.
Yeah, like and subscribe and tell your friends. And thanks for listening.
Talk to you guys next time.